Dave Barber for Capitol Television from the third floor of the Rhode Island State House in a segment we simply call Capitol Spotlight. We thrust the spotlight on a member of the General Assembly and talk to them about some of the things they've been working on and how it might impact you, the Rhode Island citizen. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome a gentleman who we've had the good fortune of interviewing before, the Honorable State Representative Scott Guthrie. Representative, it's good to see you, sir.
Happy to be here. Thank you for the invite.
You know, you've got something going on right now in your particular district that deals with the taxing of fire districts. In lay terms, can you lay that situation out for our viewers and give us a little explanation?
Sure. We had an issue with one of the fire districts in our town, which required court action, and there was a court-appointed special master that came in to run the fire district. And in order for him to submit a budget to the taxpayers, he needed legislation to alter the tax structure of fire districts as a whole. The bill that I put in would allow fire districts the same taxing authority as cities and towns, which is tiered taxing. Without this specific legislation, he would have to send tax bills out to residents as well as businesses at the same rate. So in other words, a Walmart store would be paying the same rate as a two-bedroom home. Also in the bill, we put some little bit of oversight into it, where the fire district now has to report to the state their operations, similar to the cities and towns, to make sure that there's another level of oversight. Right now, last night they had a meeting at the fire district and a budget wasn't passed. We're waiting to see what the next move the courts are going to take, and we're hopeful that we can get this legislation passed and we can get our fire district back on solid ground.
It sounds to me like you're trying to achieve some kind of tax equity, that it be done on a more fair and consistent basis.
Well, that also, and we're trying to give the fire districts the same authority as the cities and towns.
Now, also recently, you were involved in something that I thought was pretty interesting. You led Speaker Fox on a tour of a renovated mill in your community, in Coventry, I believe, and you're talking again, I know you and some of your colleagues are talking again about the possibility of restoring these historic tax credits, and it certainly seems interesting. I know the Speaker seems to be very high on the idea. Tell us about that mill and how are things shaping up in that regard?
Actually, it all started with a drive-by. I happened to notice all new windows going in on the 5th floor of the building in 1 week, and the following week I saw new windows on the 4th. So I approached the town officials and I asked what was going on, and they said there has been construction in the building since October. So I asked him if he would provide a hard hat tour for the legislators, including the Speaker. So all of us, all the Coventry delegation got together, and we went down and we toured the facility. It was quite nice because they cleaned an entire floor off just for us, so we weren't intruding on the workers. Like I said, when I was noticing it with the windows going in, I could see the inside construction. So right now, they're probably maybe getting close to halfway done. They expect to be finished, I believe, June or July. And this had qualified under the previous tax credit program. It was a wonderful tour, and I thought it was a nice springboard, so to speak, to let the general population know that these tax credits do work, especially in communities like ours. We have a river valley that has all old historic mills on it.
You know, I live in Pawtucket, and they've done a marvelous job with some old mills there that were really nothing more than eyesores before. And because of this historic tax credit, people were able to go in, investors, and really make some vibrant workspaces, multiple living spaces. In Pawtucket, for example, they have an artist loft, which is just absolutely thriving, and it's amazing what they've done in cleaning up some of the communities by giving this incentive. Are you optimistic that we'll have a version of these historic tax credits coming back?
I'm hopeful that it gets to us. I'm hopeful that we pass it. I think that we're taking some of these blighted properties and turning them from a liability to an asset for the community.
I don't think there's any question about that. I wish you the very best with that, Representative Guthrie. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day right before session to visit with us. I wish you and the members of the House the very best.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, sir. And we, of course, could not do it without you. My name is Dave Barber. It's called Capitol Spotlight.